When we talk about Mahabharata, we often talk about the two sons of Vichitravirya who fought for the throne, but we often forget the third son in the court, Vidur. Vidur was born to Ved Vyasa and Parishrami. Satyavati wanted a suitable heir to the throne of Hastinapur and found out that the two sons born out of Niyog, Pandu and Dhritarashtra had flaws that made them ineligible for becoming a king. Dhritarashtra was born blind and Pandu was pale. Satyavati wanted a healthy and normal child and asked Ambalika to participate in Niyog again. Ved Vyasa had just returned from his penance and was not very tidy looking. This had caused both the sisters, Ambika and Ambalika, to participate half-heartedly in the act. The third time, Ambalika backed out at the last moment and pushed forward her maid Parishrami to do the act. Thus was born Vidur, the wisest of all, yet the most deprived. Thus was born Vidur, the wisest of them all, yet the most deprived. It is believed that Vidur is the reincarnation of Yamraj, the god of justice and death. Sage Mandavya had cursed Yamraj for impaling his son without reason. Yamraj and his soldiers were going around when their valuables were stolen. They saw a hermit in meditation and accused him of the robbery. This infuriated Mandavya and he gave Yamraj the curse that he would be born on earth but would live a life deprived of what he deserves. Vidur was the wisest in Hastinapur. It is believed that his ideas, Vidur Niti, are the precursor to Chanakya Niti. He also pointed out that Dhritarashtra would be a flawed king and Pandu was a better choice. He was so sharp and intelligent in strategy and politics that he was considered equal to Lord Krishna. Vidur was always against the injustice to Pandavas. He predicted the burning of the wax palace and warned the Pandavas. Vidur also stopped Yudhishthir from playing the game of dice. He protested against the humiliation of Draupadi in the court, and he was the only one to do so except Vikarn from the side of Kauravas. Vidur was also the person who was so trusted and noble that when the Pandavas were exiled, Kunti was ordered to stay back in the kingdom and the palace. She refused to do so and opted to stay at Vidur's place. Lord Krishna also did a similar thing when he was in the palace to negotiate between the two clans and stop the war. He stayed at Vidur's place because he also knew that Duryodhan would try to impress him through the luxuries and try to convince him. Before the war was to begin, he invoked sage Sanat Sujatiya to ask their questions about death and the fate of war. He then withdrew from the court and his post of Prime Minister until the end of the war. Yudhishthir reinstated him as the Prime Minister, but he felt detached from the stately affairs. Finally, he left the kingdom and the luxurious life and went with Dhritarashtra and the two queens to the Himalayas, where they died due to a forest fire.